first, but I do want feedback from you guys. I'm going to put you on screen. Turn your camera on so you can feel like you're in the room with us.
Let's see. Did I tell you my apprehension?
Oh, 100%. That's what they did this morning. That's what I want.
Okay, so my apprehension is this.
And you got a different version of this morning's.
Here's my
My goal in this one was to practice the new stuff that I had added. So I didn't go over a lot that I did in the original one, right? Do you agree?
This was much more fluid.
Right. I was trying to shorten it big time.
Hi, everybody. I don't know what everybody else's experience is with making these calls, but for a lot of them,
It's coming from a,
you know,
this is intended now to be used on the front end, not lead generation. We're not talking about lead generation right now.
no, that's what I'm talking about right now.
Okay, good.
I mean, I think it's great that all those programs and stuff popped up, but I know that from my perspective, I'm talking to a lot of RMM folks. Let's put it this way. They're dangerous when it comes to these down payment assistance programs and stuff like that, because, you know, they're like, oh, it's like I'm picking on me right now, you know, or, you know, I had somebody else tell me that they saw somewhere where you could get a grant from Biden for $25,000. I know that's something that, you know, he mentioned, you know, originally from the election and stuff like that. But to give them all out like that is like, I don't know if that's wise, you know. It's not like every deal falls into, you know, T-Shack or, you know, whatever the down payment assistance is.
You're exactly correct. And the idea behind this, so if I were to have gotten this question or objection within a presentation, I'd be able to come back with, you are correct. But every program that they find on Google, they think that they qualify for, and they don't even have a chance. So what it does is it allows you to get the conversation started to become the expert or showcase your expertise to then hone in on that particular program and show them the differences as to why you don't qualify for this one based on other criteria.
Okay, can you pull up the slide again, or where that is? I just wanted to see like how detailed.
Wait a minute. Which slide? Because that was me literally going through my phone.
Okay. Well,
that was going through the buyer's experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on that? Because that is the basis of this entire thing.
I think it's a little bit more decisive than leaving the power to Joe, Sally, and all their cousins.
Right.
Or even you as the loan officer.
Yeah.
Because what if you missed a program that should have been offered, but it wasn't? And then they went to XYZ lender that did offer that program and they left you.
So I feel like this was something that was a discussion in the early years with a prior company. And we were into auto. And so sales consultants had the control of entering a credit application onto a computer when the customer came in. And then the sales consultant would turn the computer around and give the customer options on where they wanted to close. This reminds me of something very similar to that because psychologically, right?
In the customer's mind.
You're not giving them a yes or no, so they're not gonna walk away. You're giving them options, so they're likely to select one of the options on the screen. And now you instilled value because you can get them approved for something, so there's hope for you to get them into a loan.
And you as a brand new loan officer just hit on the entire basis of this whole program. The idea of, and you said the words specifically, I should have wrote them down. Hope was one of them. There was one options is one of them.
Building value.
and value. You're doing that through those three things right there in itself that loan officers that are experts should do every single time.
And seeing
But
as
they
they're
don't.
leaving as well, so now they're seeing their options, they're more likely to let their wall down and allow you to provide them more insight throughout the process.
Well, in addition, I mean, I think programs similar to this or concepts similar to this is like people who need to get a new credit card.
Mhm.
And then they go to NerdWallet and they're like, you may qualify for all of these really pretty cards. And
Got it.
I've heard of Capital
Got
One
it.
Ventures, like, I want to be like Jennifer, whoever.
Garner.
But then you get 10 recommendations, you're only gonna get one, maybe two if you're kind of ballsy.
Correct.
But then it makes them feel more involved, which a lot of people are after, I feel like after COVID, want to be involved and know more. But it's just enough, but not too much.
Just enough
Well,
to
absolutely,
keep them engaged in the process with something other than just the house.
most people look at reviews, they want to know the process, they want to know what other people like or dislike, and this is providing them insight on the different options that they may like or dislike, depending on what they can bring to the table.
So now that we're past that phase, let's jump back to the presentation itself and give feedback up to the point of how you use it, what we need. Because that will be another piece that I'll attach to it to show it needs to be used on the front end, goes hand in hand with your Simple Nexus. Your Simple Nexus link is already in your dashboard for Loanbot. And train your loan officers, train yourself to send that out instead of your application link, which then tees up the application process for a high level discussion with your borrower so that they gain value from you. They see you as the expert. They see that you're engaged in what they're doing, what they've already selected. If they haven't selected any, invite them back to go and select some of the programs so that you guys have more to talk about. Then you take the application and provide them with their options now that they're more educated. You have a more educated, more engaged borrower versus just somebody that's using you to get a loan.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
And it's gonna be cyclical too. It's gonna come back around. Now they're gonna tell someone else, hey, you should go try this link, get some insight from there. So that referral is going to help as well because the system itself is building that value.
What other feedback? Let's go through this couple of pieces of this.
I thought that having the loan officers open up their phone was nice because it really added more weight to just how much value that system brings. Because in that short amount of time, I only saw one program and when I clicked on it, it didn't tell me much more else.
Right?
So I think that is very sticky.
That or you can bring a
This,
volunteer to the front of the room or two or three, as opposed to everybody doing that.
Mhm.
Have someone record it or the people report
Mhm.
it.
smart,
Now you're having three individuals up there and now people are watching you.
still, instead of engaged in their phone
Yeah,
and
that.
get sidetracked and,
Three people in front of your screen and you can have Loanbot thinking as you're having the three people trying to figure out. And they're gonna see that Loanbot is gonna be faster than these three in front of the screen.
I think that's smart too, because you'll have loan officers who are gonna check their emails versus.
okay, let me ask you this, going back a little bit. Is there any reason to accentuate this side of it any more than what I did?
No, but there is a lot of moving things. So like as you were in front of me talking, like your phone was scrolling up and so I couldn't help but look at the presentation.
Which is intended,
Then you,
just on that piece, yeah,
yeah,
correct.
so, other than that, I think.
Because
great.
you're now going, what is that? What is it doing?
Yeah, so at first I was like, hold on, wait a minute, and then I would come back to what you were saying and then go back to the. You know what part I'm
So,
talking about?
yep, this was supposed to be the aha moment that I missed. It was supposed to be, okay, so taking all that we gain from launching as an SEO management company, I found myself recommending the front end website to my new to the business loan officers when they asked questions about what programs are best for their customer in any particular scenario. And then it dawned on me, we were totally overlooking the actual value of what we built for, and selling ourselves short as just lead generation for people. And that's when we had the brilliant idea to create Loanbot. So, and that was supposed to be like the dun, dun, dun. And then it goes into what is Loanbot and blah, 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 blah.
I do have one more question.
And it was smart to bring that forward. But this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I'm looking for any type of objections that would come about in trying to get you, the loan officer,
To
from
utilize.
A to Z.
Yeah.
And Z being, okay, I want my loan for $49 or $150, depending on how many people total sign up.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it, Picasso.
I'm also very interested to hear your close too.
Any feedback on how that should go? Because I haven't created it yet.
That's a Mark Jones.
When a buyer is interested, whether it's recommended from a realtor or directly, let's call it social media, what do you send them right now when they're ready, when they feel like they're ready? Answer.
Well, I'm going off something else.
No, it's okay. What would you send them?
So, well, like, for example, HEB or Costco, when you
Mhm.
walk inside HEB or Costco and you have people in the aisles trying to sell something, what are they giving you?
No.
They're giving you
We're gonna-
samples.
we're gonna-
So what I'm saying is, do you have an example of someone who might have been closed off of your Review My Mortgage? So you can utilize that as a, not necessarily case study, but an example.
You're talking testimonial?
Yeah.
We just
That's
did
what
my
I'm saying.
borrower who closed yesterday with $650 out of pocket.
You
That
can,
was RMM?
Yep, sure was.
you can use that as a testimony. You need testimonies.
Congrats, Dustin.
Would
Woohoo.
you be able to get her to jump
could
on a
probably
Zoom
do-
call with me?
I could probably do that, yeah. It
Um,
was looking
now,
like she was
my-
gonna get some of her earnest involved.
Well, if we are not utilizing that side, back to what I asked, you as the loan officer, what do you send to your customer? Where do you direct them? What is the next step when somebody says, I want to see what my options are?
I send them my simple Nexus link.
Yeah, I mean, I have my links, my landing pages.
Right. Okay. And with those landing pages, the only thing that they can do right now is what? Apply. That's it. So what we found is that most consumers aren't ready to apply. The number one question we get as lenders is what? Are you going to pull my credit?
And
And
that's probably why they back out from providing their info.
correct. So
Alright.
therefore, if you provided them with something that collects that same information minus their social security number, and that same information turns into the actual programs that they may qualify for, with the ability to see directly into what they're doing, the programs that they've saved, the nuances to those programs, et cetera, wouldn't that make for a next step in conversation to complete the application, et cetera?
Absolutely,
That's how I want to close. Something similar to that. Does that make sense?
yes.
Bringing it to the forefront, going, what are you doing now? It's broken. Here's why. Does that make,
It makes plenty of sense.
it does?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything in the application that specifically tells the consumer that we would not be, in essence, pulling their information so that they feel a little bit more comfortable putting in their information? Does that make sense?
So that welcome message, when you initially send your Review My Mortgage loan bot out, will prompt them to say, this is the loan bot, I'm your loan officer, we're gonna ask you a series of questions, blah, 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 blah. You can save, compare, et cetera, et cetera. Now, it doesn't say we're not gonna pull your credit, but we can't without date of birth, can't without their actual property, can't without their social. I think they get that, it's just a form. I do. And the reason why is we wouldn't have so many people have signed up already. So I'm
Well,
just using,
I'm I might would debate that, frankly, because
Yeah, because being
Some
an
of-
auto.
some of them think, oh, I already applied with you. Who are you now?
Yeah,
So this is good feedback in regards to what we can actually prompt in there. Or in that message, in that welcome message, we can add something that says, we're not going to pull your credit just yet.
correct.
Just like bold and clear, we're not gonna,
Like that should come before I need this, this and that. Just ensure, Mr. Consumer, we are not going to be pulling your credit. We need more information to do so. This is a guide to help you understand what programs there are out there for your specific situation.
Honestly, I'd really make the point that this is a little bit more interactive than the actual app. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time sometimes with some of the realtors
Simple
don't get it.
Nexus?
Don't get it. Yeah, the Simple Nexus stuff. They don't get it. They don't realize even though that you've made them.
a mobile app
share, a
customized
mobile
for
app.
them.
Yeah, they don't get it. And, or they're old school or whatever.
Which
happens.
shows me more and more that it's about our side and what we provide versus the realtor and their side. Because the realtor has a short-term, not memory, but,
Attention.
yeah, they don't care about that. They're not really trying to grow. They're just ready to go on to the next. And that's what also tells me that long-term, as I mentioned in this morning, realtors may become extinct eventually due to technology, whereas loan officers, a good loan officer is necessary. It's kind of like a station.
Still complicit. and
Not
not-
if this gets big.
But that's,
So
We
you don't
will
wanna
be
put that-
replaced by ChatGPT.
that is true. Yeah, that is truly our end goal that we don't want to happen because we
Okay.
want loan officers to pay for it. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
That makes
If
sense.
we wanted to, yes, eventually with enough money and everything else, we take the whole process away
Yeah,
from both realtors and lenders when we add IDX, home search, et cetera. I mean, yes. But the goal is to scare them enough that they use this versus allowing themselves to go extinct.
makes plenty of sense.
You,
It's like they don't wanna take an extra step it's like, oh, this is great, it sounds cool. I'll try it later.
Do you think
I'll
that
try, like, it's, they don't wanna put the
technology?
little bitty work just to try it.
correct.
Like, I don't wanna say lazy, but it's
So
like,
then, that being said, should there be something in the introduction-esque of the presentation that emphasizes or talks about how AI is changing things?
or how hungry are you? How-
Okay. Yes. So within this, how do I end the?
Well, like the statistics of how many people are jobless because of AI or something like that, you know what I mean?
The writer's
I mean,
Oh, great.
some data trump feelings, you know what I mean?
Still going, children almost have to pay attention to Hollywood or late night TV.
I know, I want them to make the new Sicario.
I want
just
you to
want
make,
some new
I want you to
clothes.
make, I want you to make the opening screen a big Biden falling down like the steps of the, Air Force One and just go,
Hey, they gotta do these shorter steps
and just, this guy doesn't want you to be a homeowner.
That's perfect.
That is hilarious.
And in the beginning, I should have talked about the timeline, because the timeline of creating the first version of Review My Mortgage, technically, we launched March 1st, 2020. It was like, launch, fuck yeah, pandemic. What the fuck? Like, really? What in the hell? Our luck sucks. Our luck sucks. And then all of a sudden, it's like, holy shit, we did it. This works. Everybody fucking wants it.
We did it, Joe. We did it.
Okay. Anything else added that would make an impact? Beginning, middle, or end?
I like that kind of, not put a fear, but almost like a sense of urgency, like this is the way of the future. If you don't, I mean, I'm just saying, if you don't figure this out now, you're gonna be without a
Someone
job.
else is.
But like, not, but basically get to the point, but in a present, nice way. Hey, this is why we're doing this. We want, we
I
want,
have to agree with you. You almost want them to feel like you wondering why you're not just getting apps in your inbox like you used to. Because your buyers are online. And they're online getting equipped with the wrong shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they're
and I
trusting
deal
in
with
that because they don't know loans.
On
Yeah.
a daily basis, they're looking at Redfin, they're looking at prices, they're looking at everything, this.
California info.
The
Yeah.
number one reason why home shoppers go with the first selected loan officer is it's too confusing. Everything is just too confusing. So they just say, okay. Did you know that?
Well, that's something we did before we met you when we got
Yeah,
on.
you just-
Chris just went on, that was the first guy.
Yep.
Help, that was it.
Anything else?
No.
Well,
Thank you.
anytime you,
Go ahead.
if you can get their docs, that's the thing. They're usually not gonna shock you. You can just get them.
Well, all of the things that Simple Nexus does can be added in the future to Review My Mortgage or to Loanbot. Absolutely. That's the
Well-
simple stuff. That
Well-
costs money, but it is simple. We started with the hardest part, which is the loan program identification, and presentation, to a consumer based on their criteria. That was the hardest part. That's why no one is doing it yet, other than that downpaymentAssistanceResource.com, which is, it's shitty. Shitty, bang, bang.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
I mean, you have to think about it. You're online, you're reading all the disclosures, all the guidelines, when this pretty much provides you that in a synopsis of what you need and the guidelines underneath it.
Right. So I guess my
It's
question to you guys
time-consuming.
is, it is going to be uncomfortable for just about every single loan officer that I ever talk to moving forward, changing the upfront of their process. So hearing from some guy that they don't know who is, that your process is broken. And it's broken from the get-go. Like, first step is what? And I tried to articulate that with, what do you send to your customers? Well, my application link.
If you use the word broken, I would say something out of your process missing.
I want to say broken. If something's missing, it's broken. And it's a powerful word. It's broken. You may not have noticed it yet. But if you usually have 10 loans in your pipeline, you only have 4 right now, it's broken. And you can blame the market, or you can blame your process.
Blame everyone.
How about let's focus on the things that we can control versus the things that we can't control? That's great.
I think the hard part is you have to address the new to the business loan officers, and then you have to address the people who have been in the
Yeah,
business.
because to me, this is all, great. I don't have any objection. Because this is all I know.
But then you also have people like YG, people who have been in the business for over 5 years, who had a concept of what it's like to sell hard to earn in the business. And then now it's a different market than what they're used to. So they had to sell hard, then it got easy, and now it's like, okay, but now it's a new hard.
Different hard.
It's a different hard.
It's a different.
And not only is it a different hard, but everything has changed. The guidelines have changed, the programs have changed, the rates have changed.
Everybody's
Everything.
offering newer programs, more,
Yes.
it's
It's like-
evolved.
The young, shiny new toys like Rocket Mortgage is
Yep.
more relevant than it was 5 years ago.
Yep.
So you're catering to 2 different people, whereas half the room is gonna be new to the business loan officers who think that they're gonna be hot shit because they're young and hungry, and then you have